Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Saturday Somm-things with Mats. Hi, I'm Mats. Guten Morgen, meine Damen und Herren, und willkommen. Today, I have a very special guest. He's a first-timer at the table. His name is Jason Sorrell, and he works for Vineyard Brands. And he is the one who are bringing these Alpine treasures, these Austrian wines, to Argonaut, and I'm glad he did because there's a little chill in the air, and these are just the perfect wines to celebrate. So, Jason, welcome to the table.
Thank you, and good morning.
Guten Morgen. So, wine number one.
Yes, so we're going to start with a Grüner Veltliner, which is the white wine grape of Austria. So the producers we have today, I'm pretty excited about. They're historical producers. They are producers of the new generations as well, coming up in Austria. So in Austria, they've been making wine for a long, long time. Not a lot of people in America know that. We haven't been exposed to a lot of their wines. But they used to be, top third producer out of all of Europe. Then they had a scandal in the 70s and 80s, which pretty much stopped all that immediately. Since then, they've been really trying hard to produce quality wines. So if you go to Austrian section, all those wines are going to be really, really high quality for the price point that you're going to pay. These are no exceptions. So we're going to start with the Fredleumer Grüner Veltliner. So they're up in Niederösterreich, which is up in the northern part. It's the largest area. And specifically, they're in Kamptal. So Langenlois is where this is from. It's the capital of Kamptal. This is an organic wine and a biodynamically farmed wine. So Fred Leumer was instrumental in bringing those farming techniques. He also, when he took over his winery, his family's winery in the 90s, 98 specifically, he started messing around with oak fermentation, oak aging, and Gruners and Rieslings as well, which was a no-no back in the day. So really elevating the quality of the wines. So this is going to be all stainless steel, fresh, vibrant, clean,
Crisp, dry. I'm getting a lot of minerality. I'm getting a lot of semi-tropical notes. With the Gruner, you're not going to get a lot of tropical notes. For instance, green papaya, a little bit of kiwi, and this is the second week in a row that I'm trying this Gruner, and if you've learned anything from the last week, are really unique and fun Austrian grapes, Zweigelt, Gruner, Blaufränkisch. And before I go on, Jason, I wanted to point out that a lot of Austrian wines are twist-offs, and they have the Austrian flag on the top of the bottle cap. That's a great indication. So this is a beautiful wine, and quick reminder, if anybody has any questions, feel free to pipe in. Just go ahead and ask because we're live, and we'll also be live on Wednesday. So Jason, back to you.
Okay. Another thing about this, if you see that, it means it's part of the Qualitätswein, which means it's highly regulated. So what they've done since the 80s is they have really, really strict guidelines on all the wine growing regions to just help the quality be as high as possible. So that's a great thing to look for. So the second wine, we're going to the southern part, most southern part of the region in Austria. And this is from Südsteiermark. This is Sattlerhof. So the Sattler family has been here since the 1600s.
Yes.
Today, the two brothers kind of run the show, Willie and Hans, and they exclusively make Sauvignon Blanc. So when you think of Sauvignon Blanc, there are a lot of different styles. Obviously New Zealand, French, domestic. This is going to be definitely more in that French style. More mineral-driven, light, fresh. They have a lot of quartz and limestone here, so you get this great minerality.
I was telling Jason earlier that it's strange that Austria would produce these beautiful up-and-coming wines, the Sauv Blanc and the Chardonnay. It's not every day that you would send your significant other to Argonaut and say, hey, go pick up a bottle of Sauv Blanc or Chardonnay. But make sure it's Austrian, which is kind of cool because that option exists, especially at Argonaut. And this is rather fun. It's not your New Zealand glass of grapefruit juice.
No, not at all. You get, a little bit of stone fruits in there.
Yeah.
You get a little grapefruit, but it's more.
It's dialed back.
Indeed.
Little tomato vines. Beautiful. What would you pair this with before we go on to the Chardonnay?
Definitely shellfish.
Yes.
I mean, when you're thinking of Sauvignon Blanc in this style, oysters, mussels, just when you start cooking, you can open a bottle too.
Sure. Because sometimes we cook with wine and sometimes we actually put it in the food.
Exactly.
So
Great for
wine,
deglazing.
yeah, wine number 3, the beautiful Chardonnay.
So, to his point, these are not, typical grapes from Austria. So, in this area, we're over in the Burgenland. So, this is Paul Ux. Paul Ux is a gentleman. His family's been in this area since the 1700s as well. He actually, before taking over his family's winery, was in California, in Russian River. He worked with Pat Paulson, and that's where he really learned to hone his skills on red wines and Chardonnay.
Yeah, it's still dry, it's crisp. It's more austere than your typical California Chardonnay because it's not terribly full-bodied. It has a little bit of weight on the palate, but it's still very flavorful and very elegant.
Indeed. And again, more towards that French style.
Right.
For your friends that say they don't like Chardonnay because they're too oaky, buttery, this is quite the opposite of that. This is elegant, white pear, a little lime zest, fresh, clean minerality.
Yes, it has some green apple, some gardenia, a little bit of buttercreams, but not to the point of being butterscotch. You don't want that cloying effect. And this is, I think, a nice wine to start people to drink Chardonnay so it's not in their face. It's not going to be that butter bomb. It's not going to be that piece of driftwood. It's just a beautiful representation of what Austria has to offer.
Indeed. Yep. And this wine only has about 20% oak treatment on it.
Yeah.
80% stainless steel to help keep it fresh. And you'll see all these wines are screw caps. That helps retain the freshness and vibrancy of these wines. And you can taste it in the glass.
Oh, yeah. Chicken Caesar salad, a Waldorf salad, some...
Yeah, like roast chicken.
Or even, it's still autumn, it's November, pumpkin ravioli.
Oh, yeah?
One of my favorites. Or
now you're making me hungry.
Or a pumpkin risotto. That would be beautiful with this. And, sadly but true, today is National All Souls Day. Bless your hearts. And Deviled Egg Day.
It's deviled egg day?
It is. And
this would go great with deviled eggs.
These would pair beautifully with deviled eggs. Absolutely. So the last wine is this gorgeous Blaufränkisch.
Indeed. So, we had it easy on you with Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay, and now we're going to Blaufränkisch, which is a little tougher to say. You might not be as familiar with that grape varietal, but it's a phenomenal wine for the fall. So this is a red wine. So Paul started making more red. So he makes 80% red and about 20% white wines. And in this area, typically, is drier. It's great for really big, bold, opulent reds and whites and dessert wines. And you'll see in this glass, there's tons of fruit.
Yes.
Juicy tannins. It's not very tart, although it does have really nice acidity.
It does. And it matches my shirt. And that's all that matters. No, just kidding.
I better not spill.
It's a gorgeous, gorgeous, medium-weighted wine that is so versatile. I put a slight chill on this earlier this morning, and you can do that to really enhance and bring out the flavors because you're getting some plums and some prunes and some pomegranates. And it's just so easy drinking. And as always, Miss Sheila already has them on sale.
Yeah, there's a nice little smokiness in here. But what's best about this wine is Thanksgiving's coming up.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people say this wine will go great with Thanksgiving. This wine especially, really versatile.
Right.
Think of it as, your cranberries on the side.
Sure.
That's
a little
that's
bit
where
of
this can
a little bit of orange zest. A lot of people go to Pinot Noirs, which is fine. It's great, but maybe you want to change it up a little. Try a little Zweigelt or a little
Indeed.
Blaufränkisch. I mean, there are no set rules. It's what you like. I always tell people, you like what you drink, and you drink what you like.
And speaking of Pinot Noir,
Okay.
this grape is canned to Pinot Noir. So if you like Pinot Noirs, typically you'll like a Blaufränkisch.
So Jason, thank you again, Dankeschön, for
Bitteschön.
very good, for introducing us and our audience to Austrian wines part 2. And we hope to see everybody down at the Argonaut. Just a quick reminder, today from 3 until 4, we are having a free whiskey tasting at the wine desk on the main level. Just bring your ID. As always, it's free. So Jason, once again, thank you for introducing me and our audience to these great wines, and we hope to see you soon. Cheers.
Thank you.